God protects the creation through divine providence, an attribute reserved to the omnipotent. We care for the creation through stewardship, a noble obligation that makes us co-creators with God. Stewardship, therefore, is a spiritual paternity that assumes nurturing care, responsibility, discipline, perseverance, prudence, constant diligence, continual effort, and willingness. When the Creator commanded Adam and Eve to be fruitful and multiply, God expected them to possess and utilize the above-mentioned qualities in every possible way. Throughout centuries and generations, the forms of stewardship have changed, but its central notion continued to be the ethical and responsible planning and sustainability of the creation. In Holy Scriptures, stewardship is manifested in a very unique way. It is characterized mainly by meaningful giving, extending a helping hand, supporting a cause, or sharing. Another noteworthy aspect of stewardship mentioned both in the Old and New Testaments is our servanthood, originating not with a man's duty, but with God's love, as explained in the 1 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 1. As Christ served our deepest needs, so does our stewardship serve the deepest needs of others. The biblical perspective of stewardship, especially the creation of a solid support system for the advancement of the mission of the Church, has inspired generations of church leaders who left behind them a rich spiritual, cultural, and historical heritage. Across the continents, from Australia to the Americas, and from Africa to Asia, the Armenian communities, with their respective churches, schools, and other institutions, are the results of prudent stewardship exercised by our forefathers, who bequeathed us priceless treasures and an awesome responsibility to preserve what they have created. It is through the stewardship of the Armenian immigrants that the very first Armenian church was built in Worcester, Massachusetts in 1890. Later in 1898, through the tireless effort of the Armenian community and Bishop Hovsep Saragian, the Diocese of America was established by Catholicos Măcărtici Hrimian. Around the same time, in 1900, Holy Trinity Armenian Church was consecrated in Fresno, California. Rare photos recount the establishment of St. Gregory the Illuminator Church in Fowler, California in 1910. The most remarkable event, however, was the establishment of the Western Diocese of the Armenian Church of North America in 1927 by the pontifical encyclical of His Holiness Kevort V. Since then, numerous churches were built and communities established throughout the West Coast. In 1977, with the blessing of His Eminence Archbishop Vace Hovsepian, Primate of the Western Diocese, a formal stewardship committee was formed, aimed at raising funds to secure seed money for the diocese. Dr. Gary Lulegian, of blessed memory, as a diocesan council member, organized the very first stewardship committee event, appealing an annual pledge of $100 per member. Dr. Lulegian continued his leadership role in the stewardship committee until 1981. Under the visionary leadership of His Eminence Archbishop Hovnan Derderian, Primate, with the invaluable help of Dr. Vahram Bidicic, Chair, the stewardship program was revitalized soon after 2003. Not only was the mission of the program redefined, but also priorities were identified. As it was determined at the time, clergy preparation was the top priority. This initial need arose from a significant influx of Armenians from Armenia and Middle East, which in turn resulted in the establishment of several new mission parishes. In addition to changing demographics, focus on clergy education was necessitated by the aging of our current clergy, many of whom were nearing retirement. With the blessing of Archbishop Derderian, Dr. Bidicic, along with his fellow committee members, launched successful annual fundraisers, securing significant funds through the generous donations of grand benefactors, Cross stewards, and other donors. The stewardship program continued its vital support as the young clergyman graduated from theological schools and assumed pastoral duties in mission parishes in the capacity of deacon or an ordained priest. Giving a boost to the newly established faith communities in Apostle Paul's example was the next phase of the mission of the stewardship program. This year, as we celebrate the 90th anniversary of the establishment of the Western Diocese, we give tribute to all the good stewards who laid the foundation of this venerable institution. More importantly, we contemplate the idea of stewardship in today's society and envision practical ways to instill it in the hearts and minds of the new generation. Without the loyal stewardship of our beloved faithful, we could not have reached the commanding heights we stand on today so proudly. If stewardship meant nurturing in the past, today it means sustaining, endowing, and investing in the future of this diocese. With this special event, as we kick off the jubilant year, we would like to call upon each and every individual to maintain constant diligence in making our diocese and its parishes thrive through responsible stewardship. This idea should galvanize us as a faith community to rise to this unique occasion, to build up the Church and witness the good fruits of the Holy Spirit. Toward the new century, the noble mission of the Stewardship Committee continues. Become a steward and be part of history in the making.